It should be live.
Can't
Now we
wait for
just
this
have to
shit.
wait for it to actually definitely be working. And it's up. It's up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, okay. It is working. I have confirmation. So, welcome to Spike and Spike live. There's nobody here yet, but that's fine. Um, we can see somebody who is clicking around the Legends of the Split and Temple roster right now.
Oh yeah, that's me. My bad.
You're ruining everything.
Oh wait, no,
Oh,
that's poet.
oh, it's Poet.
He's
Poet's
double checking.
Poet is
Hi,
doing
poet.
important
Hi,
things.
hi,
Oh boy.
hi, poet. It's me. Me.
Anyway, but yeah,
I smell
let's
soap.
let's get started
This is
with
weird.
the draft recap. So, before we dive into the specific teams and everything, do you have any big steals or reaches for this draft?
All right, let's go over this draft. I don't remember who went for how much, so let me just fucking check that shit first. Oh, nope, I have to go back to the draft packet and check how much they were drafted for. Who were the people that went for zero?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Easy. Let me just find this. All right, should go all the way up. All right, the people who went for zero were Drift, Lamatron, Catalyst, FU, Ghost, Randy, Borgus, J Swan, Clue, and Poodle, A Dog. Okay. All right. So here we go. The big steal for me is it's actually difficult to tell, to be honest.
I mean, based on the list that you just gave me, I'd say that I think that that Lamatron is a steal there. I think he's
Mm,
been I think he's been capable of being a solid A team defender for a while and just keeps
is he
being.
playing A though?
I
Would
would.
he? I
I mean,
mean,
I guess you could have Super Dig there.
I
Either
don't
of
know
them, they're both
who this
capable of
one.
being the D partner for Rick there.
Yeah. I think Lamatron will be better just because Drufa and Lamatron. I think this team should be central if they put. So, and I think Lamatron will get better Dallas ping and Chicago ping,
That's true.
maybe. But actually, my steal would be Sugar for 19.
Sugar for 19 is definitely a steal if Sugar doesn't pull a Liu Kang and actually shows up and plays, then yeah, that's definitely a steal.
Well, so far she's been showing up to scrim, so
Well,
that's
that's good.
already more than what Liu Kang did.
True. As long as it's more than 10
And
minutes of scrims.
and another steal for me would be Bold Roller for 8. If if his TPM games and ELO are anything to go by, he might be one of the better offenders in this draft. And he only went for 8, so big pickup there.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has been uh, pretty good in the last seasons that he's been, well, in last season when he played A Team. I think he went for that low though because he hasn't had like proven consistent A Team success. Now that said, the CPM grind definitely
I mean,
has shown improvement, but it doesn't always pan out. So you never know. I definitely think that he has the potential to be a game changer this season.
you
But
say you say consistent, but like last season was his only 18
yeah,
experience, so it wasn't bad either. I mean, he was pretty
well,
good.
I agree, and especially on a season where offense seems a little bit weaker all the way around the league. I think he's in prime position to have a really good season. But I do think that the reason why captains didn't spend more on him was because he only has the one full season on a team, and if you just look at the stats, it's a 7.5 OGASP and a 69 nice Onish, which I mean it's good, but it's understandable why a captain would be a little bit hesitant to spend more on that.
Yeah, maybe makes more sense. Another steal that could pan out. Gleg for 5. That looks like maybe a really solid pick from what I'm looking at in scrims and whatnot.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
an egg baller, first time A teamer, could work out.
yeah, Glegg's been improving since he joined the league, and he's definitely. Uh, I mean, I think that he's going to be able to step up, but also even if that doesn't pan out, you're getting a really solid B teamer for 5, and I think either way, that's a pretty good pick.
Yeah, that looks like the main steals that I can maybe pick up here. If I want to go for reaches, and I will, uh, hmm, Carl for 61 maybe. Especially on we don't know how good he is, and when I scrimmed him, he wasn't that great. And to lead a defense, 61 tag coins. I don't think he's shown that he's worth that price tag yet. And another steal, risk, overkill for 53. I mean, 53 puts him like like fourth most expensive player this auction. I know it was a bidding war between Flaccid and Graham, and that's why it went up that high. But it really should not have gone up that high.
Yeah, I think all of the big potential overspends this season um, were people getting bid up who are typically like mid or slightly upper range offenders, but this season people really wanted them. Um,
Yeah,
Mr. Awesome could end up being an overspend. Just you never know with a rookie going for that much. A lot of people became a believer in the rookie with an axe thing from Yon last season, but I mean,
yeah. It's weird how
there are
they
definitely other
have this.
examples of it not panning out quite that well. So
Really? Where?
I mean, I'm pretty
I
sure.
mean, Raccoon, Galvatron, Sugar, technically. Beyond, I don't see
I
an
mean,
issue
not
with
like
any
it
team.
not panning out at all, but you do have. I'm pretty sure Massimo or Slatest was also a rookie with an axe, and he was decent, but he ended up staying on B team for his whole career.
That's true. I guess you can. I thought he got the axe midway through season 16, but all right, that makes sense. Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
don't know. After seeing Mr. Awesome play a couple of
I
scrims like this
mean,
whole week,
he's
I
definitely
think he's worth
solid.
it.
Definitely solid. I
Definitely.
just it is yet to be seen whether he is worth the 40 that seemingly came out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, that 40 bid was because I think Graham also wanted him,
Yeah.
and bid. The thing is, right, Mr. Awesome, the mock draft the day before, I Mr. Awesome gets put up there too. The only thing that did for me, the mock draft, was like showcase who people thought the sleepers were. And then when they got put up, it made me immediately think, oh God, I don't think I can get the. I don't think they'll go snake draft. I think they'll go auction. And then Mr. Awesome did. Pretty, pretty impressive that too. 40. I went for 42. So
Yeah.
two less than me. Eh,
But I mean, if you're back on offense, then that's a little more justified
oh, we don't
than
know. We
than
don't know. What is gonna?
however much
What,
Jarvis ended up like betting
Jarvis
on you
paid
last
50.
season to put you on
I think
defense.
Jarvis paid 50.
Yeah, 50
Unfortunate.
for you on defense was a reach.
50 for me on offense was a reach then. Even if he put me on offense, 50 was way too much in my opinion.
Yeah, but anyway, so
All right.
let's go through some of these rosters. We'll start with just the 18 rosters. We've got the Miami Dolphins. You've got probably Jarvis and Sugar with Juke Juice and Squid. And then you've got Catalyst who can either fill in for Jarvis if he needs to, or potentially if Jarvis isn't playing well, maybe Jarvis will actually bench himself and put Catalyst up. But regardless, I think this is a pretty solid team. Uh, Getting Sugar for 19 is huge because she'll be able to be the carry ball on defense. Jarvis will finally have a really good D partner on A team, and then Juke Juice is really good. Can also fill in on D when needed, and Squid is a solid support offender for the season. So I think this is a pretty good team.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Jarvis got the perfect partner, I guess, for him, for a person who wouldn't talk that much over him, so he can feel important, and also just way better than him mechanically, so he wouldn't have to do any of the heavy lifting. Uh, the offense seems pretty solid. I wish Juke Juice was on defense because I think he's way better on D, but I think he'll still be a solid player on O. Squid. I put them at number one in my rankings. I think the community also thought they would be good at number one. So
Yeah, the
this
thing
is like
holding me
the
back from putting them
consecutive
number
thing.
one is I one having two no mics is can be an issue at times. Um, I don't know how good Squid's comps are because I've never personally played with him for more than like a game or two. I know Jarv's comps are decent. They're not the best comps in the game, but they're solid. So I think that when this team struggles, that will probably be the root of it. Is just like if Jarvis doesn't calm that they're out, then the offense doesn't know what's happening. They could flaccid, let a cap in, things like that. Comms can be important. They aren't going to have that, and I think that's their biggest weakness.
It
That
is
said,
a
they'll
it,
definitely be a good team.
it is a discussion maybe that could be made about whether you'd rather have four mechanically good players, but at the cost of maybe having two mics. Do the mics matter? Or the talent matters? Because if you have four decent players with all mics, and then you have four like two good players and two decent players, but the two good players don't have a mic. How does that affect the play? I don't know. It could be interesting. I don't really see an issue. I don't see an issue with them no mics. I think they don't really need to. I feel like calming they won't really have that big an issue, like with not knowing where to go or where to come from. I just feel like they're so much better mechanically that even without a mic, they'll still be like there. They'll still
I
be
mean, I
great.
definitely think against most teams, the the mechanical skill alone is going to be enough to carry them through and have a lot of success. But some of the other good teams in the league, I think, will be able to take advantage of that and get some points off of them throughout the season.
Yeah, I mean this A team looks to be number one. I think I agree with that. Should be fun to see how they play.
Yep. So then we have the Krusty Grabs. You've got Flaccid Trip and Overkill with a Turd Ferguson, Anthony Davis defense. I think this is one of the other teams that I have contending for the championship this year. I think in AD Turd D is going to be really good, especially as Turd is able to shake a little bit of the rust off. I think they're going to be very few offenses are going to be getting out on them. Uh,
Yeah,
this team
it.
also, if especially if Flaccid can stay positive, is going to be one of the more fun teams, and they're going to have really good comms, um, which is one of the reasons why I think they are a really good counter to the Dolphins this season. I think that they are going to be able to succeed where the Dolphins can't. Um, but yeah, they also
You know,
have a pretty strong offense for this season. Overkill showed signs of brilliance when he was filling in on A team at the end of last season. Flaccid Trip has had Uh, Not a ton of opportunity on A team, but consistent, really good success on B team, and some success on A team.
It's that defense. I think it's great. A couple of friends that I've been talking to don't think it's great. It's a lot of like mainly due to maybe AD being carried. They can say they had Wasson D last. No, they had Wasson D with TP Jukes. Master Builders had Hype Train last season, and then the previous season they had don't fucking remember. Is it Axel or D-Rex? One of those two. But it's a defense that some people like, some people hate, and I'm firmly in the like category. I have them top five. I think I put them
Yeah,
top
I mean
five.
the thing is like
Uh,
I've heard the same thing where people keep being like, "Oh, Turd and AD always have really good partners," but like, how many seasons can you have success having good partners before it means that you are also yourself, you know, pretty decent?
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. And on the offense, it should work. I haven't seen it in action. I know Overkill was good. I know Flash was good. Both of them, Flash returning to A team after a while. Overkill's getting his first 18 minutes. They're pretty jukey, pretty holdy. They shouldn't really have an issue with the majority of defenses.
Yeah, there aren't a ton of offenses this season that I am like really confident in right out of the gate. But this one definitely has the potential there to do well.
Yep. Yeah, I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be good. If Turd doesn't, if Turd is still rusty, then this defense could flounder. But other than that, nah, they're good.
Yeah. All right. So then we have got Bank of Americaps. The with Breezy and Zeus, the brainless CRC, uh, as the offense, and Sonder and Macon Bacon as defense. I think this is another. Uh, this team I think has high ceiling. Breezy has limited success on A team, but also usually he's been filling in for either a week for a player who's good and then he just hasn't been able to stay up, or you got last season where he started out on A, but then that team ended up completely falling apart all around. Um, it it
Yeah,
really to me it depends a lot. I
there is
think
a
if Zeus can stay anti-tilted, can stay positive throughout the season, and can make some scrims, then this team has a really high ceiling because Zeus is a really good player who has that tilt and toxic tax. So they were able to get him for cheap. Sonder is a really strong lead defender. Macon Bacon is a really good support defender. So if that plays out with Breezy able to play a support role a little bit, I think that this could be a really, really good team. Um, but if this team falls apart, I think it falls apart really quick. Like I think Slob's great, but it's a definite skill drop off from Zeus to Slob. That said, Breezy and Slob have the chemistry, so you never know. But I do think if that works out, high ceiling, this team is going to be competing. If it doesn't, mid tier, maybe in playoffs, but not at the top.
yeah. I was looking at their EUs and scrim share, and they weren't doing that bad. They were playing Land Before Timers like yesterday,
Yeah,
and they won like a couple of them. So
yeah, and
they
that's
aren't garbage.
yeah, and that was I'm pretty sure Zeus hasn't been on for as many
Yeah.
scrims. Um, so
Yeah, I think it's been
when they're
Breezy and
playing
Slob.
without Zeus, then they're ending up with you know, they're competing. They're going back and forth. They're staying competitive. And I think if they have Zeus and he's playing well, then I think this is a really good team.
Yeah, the defense is going to keep them in games for a bit. The defense will be like, I think these games might probably be low scoring if the defense is doing their job, which should be enough for the offense to maybe get a cap or two in and sneak a couple of wins. I don't like the offense. I don't think it'll be fun, much less good. Zeus grabs way too much for my liking, and Breezes did the same thing on B. Does the same thing on B.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, that's the big question with this offense is you've got three offenders who are known for being very grabby offenders. I think Breezes can make himself into a good support O,
it'll
which he's
be
going to need to do because Zeus is not going to play support O. Um,
yeah. I think Breezes, if Breezes can adapt to maybe not going headfirst into the flag and maybe adapting and supporting Zeus's grabby tendencies, it'll be a decent offense. And with the defense they have, decent offense is all they kind of need.
yeah, the
I
issue
think,
there
yeah, I think,
definitely
I
is that
think,
like if
yeah,
you look at the roster, like the top support O is Jelly Rat, who's I love Jelly Rat, but he's not an A teamer at the moment. Um, but yeah, we'll get to B
I
team
have
in a
them
second
like
though.
dead.
But
I have them dead middle. I think I have them like seventh or eighth or sixth, or like in that little middle
yeah,
range
I think
where
that
they're
that makes
not
sense.
top,
I
but
think
they're
they
not
definitely have a
garbage.
high ceiling. It's just they also
Yeah.
have a little bit of a lower floor because things could totally fall apart. We got manipulation station up next. Uh,
Oh,
it's which is there are a lot of teams like this season. Like uh, Carl with a K, if he is in his form of like where he was when he left, uh, Unit of One's been on a strong upswing, and Big Brother and Prime are both on the rise. So like, it looks like it could be a good team. I personally, I think it's going to be a middle of the pack team. I think that the offense is going to be decent. The defense is going to be decent. I think they're going to have times where they're playing really well and they're just dominating, but they're also going to have times where they get somebody figures out what they're doing, takes advantage, and just like obliterates them. So I think big
yeah.
ups, big downs, but I mean they've got the potential. I don't see them competing with the top teams.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like last season, Dusk basically did what he did this time. Dusk had four A-team rookies, and I think Slime God was like the only player who had A-team experience on defense, and that team was the number three seed. Number two seed actually, the number two seed with that Jig, Cobra, Slime God, Juke Juice, and now this time they basically have three A-team rookies in Unit 01, Prime, Big Brother, and Carl is the only A-team player with A-team experience on defense. But this team just feels like a like a
Yeah, I mean, I was
what
talking
do you call it?
to Big Brother about it a little bit, and he felt like he and Prime
Like a knockoff.
definitely struggled at first. That they both are okay, like holding and supporting, but neither of them really is good at grabbing right off the bat. I do think the defense is solid. There are a lot of solid defenses this season, and so I think
It
the offenses are going to be the difference makers. And I think this team has the potential to develop into a good team, but I think as it stands, they'll be middle of the pack. And
oh
like
I have them like out of
like
playoffs.
like
I have them 10th.
I have them fringe playoffs at the moment.
It's just it's all on Carl in my opinion, right?
I mean, I do think
All on
Unit has
Carl.
definitely showed that they can play, and Big Brother and Prime have showed potential. Um, but they're going to need to develop. That said, if you're going to develop, Dusk is one of the captains that you would want to have. So, I mean, I definitely don't want to doubt Dusk too much. He's done this before. He'll do it again. And I think they'll definitely be able to make playoffs with that guidance. I don't know if it's going to be uh, a sure thing. I also do like I think Adog and Logi sitting there in the reserves eases my mind a little bit about them at least being playoff contenders because I think Adog can definitely serve as an aggressive offender if he needs to.
Yeah, they have good O depth if they needed it.
Yeah,
So it's tough, you know.
yeah,
I don't really think that they will develop as well as maybe Cobra Slime God did last season. Because at least on that A team, you had Jig and Juke Juice. who were two really
Yeah, well,
good
and that's why
corners.
I don't have them as high as I had them last season. I don't think. I mean, maybe Dusk will work a miracle. I don't think he's gonna put them into like the top three seeds, but I do think that
Yeah,
they will be a solid team by the end of the season. I think they'll be able to sneak into playoffs.
maybe. I don't see it.
So then on to Bohemian Rhapsody. You've got a Rick G,
Hey,
a Darsh offense with a Mr. Awesome and either Ghost or Poodle defense. I think they were leaning Poodle, but you would know more about that.
Poodle.
Yeah, so Poodle for
Poodle.
A.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think interestingly enough, I think this is like one of the strongest offenses in the league. I think it's pretty like solid and proven offense. But I've got questions about the defense. I mean, I know Poodle has been playing decently, and Mr. Awesome seems to be panning out so far, but it's just it's a
Yeah.
rookie and one time like Poodle's played a couple of seasons, but I don't know. It's definitely weird that the defense is the weaker position on this team.
Oh no, for sure. I had questions about the defense too. Like as soon as the draft ended, I really wanted to get a scrim in to see how they were, and they were good. I mean, they didn't let them out a lot. In all of our scrims, we haven't lost a single night. You can say we've skimmed like 4 teams, and all 4 teams we like won the majority of scrims. Poodle and Awesome have been working very, very well together. Awesome is just really solid. Like he's a
Yeah.
good offender and a good defender. I feel confident. Like I feel kind of confident
Yeah.
compared to
Well,
previous seasons. I feel very confident.
I do think that one of the ways that this team definitely could pan out is that like there are a lot of weaker offenses this season. So maybe your defense doesn't need to be the best, and then if you go big on the O, then you can make it work. And it seems like that
It's
was Rick G's
it's a
strategy, and it definitely could pan out. I see them. I see your team as like an upper half team that can compete, but I don't have you at the top.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't think anyone. I don't think I would realistically call ourselves like a top 2 or top 3 seed. I think we'll be in the playoffs for sure.
Yeah. The
It'll
other thing
maybe
is,
take some time to
yeah,
get together, to maybe work together. Today we play a very strong offense. I think it'll be that's like the strongest offense I can think of that our defense can go up against week 1. If we do well this today, then I'll feel very confident about the future weeks.
yeah. And the other thing for me is that I think the thing that keeps me keeping your team like somewhere in the middle is that like even if Mr. Awesome and Poodle both like Mr. Awesome turned out to be a bust and Poodle was a one-time wonder, Ghost and Bert would be able to step in and be okay. So
Yeah,
I'm not too worried
yeah,
about
but
it.
then
But
we'd have to play Chicago and Dallas, and I don't like Dallas or Chicago. They're both garbage.
eh.
Yesterday they were garbage, dude. Like 90 ping, 80 ping on
Oh,
Dallas,
Dallas
Chicago.
Dallas was completely garbage last night until late.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
like Miners
Chicago
games.
was
I think.
fine for me,
Geez.
but yeah, no. During the I was watching the my miners team game and I was getting like 90 ping and I like ran around. I just set my desktop up, so I was like maybe it's downloading an update or something. Nothing. I turned it off. My Xbox wasn't doing anything, which is usually what causes my ping spikes, and nothing.
Yeah, I
So it was
mean
just
Dallas sucks. We still won the most of our scrims, so I'm happy with that. We play on New York today, and I think we all get better ping to New York. Obviously,
yeah.
um, I feel very optimistic. That could be the byline for my feelings. Very optimistic about our team's chances.
Yeah. All right. So we've got LBT, which my team went up against last night. You've got Tinder, uh, Wexler, which is Chucky, Berg, PK, and I believe Steez is on B team. Like they are doing that. Um, and so on A, I think this team. I mean, they're decent. I mean, it's one of those things where you've got the Western players, and so you never know if that's gonna pan out when they're playing the Eastern teams, like LBT last season, where it seemed like, oh, they should be decent, and then eh. Uh, I I think they'll be a lower middle team, but they definitely have the potential to do better than that. I think PK is pretty good. Um, Tinder finally getting a full real shot at A, and then I think Chucky and Bergie on D is a solid defense to lock things down.
Yeah, I will continue to rate LBT highly, even though they have definitely let me down in the past two seasons. Season 19 and 20 were not good seasons. They were highly rated by the community, and then they just went down hard. Didn't make the playoffs either of those seasons. But I feel way more better about ranking them highly this time. I have them at number 2 in my rankings. Chucky Bergie is like the best defensive partner that Chucky has had the past couple of seasons, and Bergie can also play O if he wants to, which makes Bergie like the best two-way player in the
Yeah,
draft.
I do. I like Bergie a lot better on D going O sometimes than on O going D sometimes, because like last season with him as an offender, he's definitely really explosive and really slippery. Um, but just he played better on D. I know he went O a couple times when he was on my team season 19, but he was completely
Yeah,
locked down on
uh,
D. And I just think
yeah,
it's way more of an asset to have him as a defender. So I think
yeah. I
that
saw.
defense is really good. The offense has a lot of potential, but I think similar to your team, I think they're going to be good, but I don't have them at the top.
Yeah, I have him at the top because I'm an idiot, and I don't, and I like the normality of me overrating LBT until they finally miss the playoffs. But this time, I don't think they will. I don't think they will because Bergie is like the Anduin of last season. He'll be really good on defense, and he'll also cap way more than a defender should. And I think that will give Tinder and PK a much like they'll give it the support that they need to feel more confident. I just like to see it. They're all good players.
Yeah. So we can go to the other Western team, the Pingfield Isotopes. You've got Ralph Wiggum El Sacco defense with Cat Puke and King Cruel on O. I mean, I really like the defense. It's a
I don't.
really, I think it's a really strong defense.
I don't.
I'm a believer in El Sacco and Ralph.
I'm not.
I think Cat Puke is good and has somehow continued to get better despite not playing competitive for like 3 seasons. He's got a he's been playing really well on TPM recently, so there's that. I think the support O role here for King Cruel is just I I don't know if the second offender on this team is going to be able to hold up the snuff, and I don't like no disrespect to Homer J. I think he's good, but like the seventh round, not seventh round in the snake, but like the seventh player down on the roster being your next best offender is not the best look here. I think this offense could be weak, but I think if if he pans out, if King Cruel plays well, then this can be a really good team.
I have the exact opposite. I think the defense sucks and the offense is fine.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like Cappy.
I mean, I like Cat Peak too, for sure.
Nah, I like the offense. They're both jukey. Cappy's grabby. King Cruel's good at holding. Should be fine. I don't like the. I scrimmed Pinkfield yesterday, and Dallas is like their home server, right? But they were all over the
I mean,
place.
Dallas was bad for everybody last night. Like, I didn't talk to anybody who had solid, stable ping throughout the night. Western,
Yeah,
Eastern,
that's
Northern,
true.
Southern, whatever.
But I still never really had issues with either of them when it came to playing against them, and I don't think that'll change this time. Like, I think me and Rick were doing well against them, but the offense was getting out quite decently last night, and I feel like I don't know I don't like it. I don't like the defense. I feel like El Sacco always gets good stats, but he doesn't like play well. You know what I'm trying to say?
I,
Like
I do know what you're trying to say.
he doesn't play well to get the stats that he's getting. That's just how I feel.
The,
Whenever I play against him, it seems pretty easy for me to get around him. Same for Ralph. But then again, I'm basing these opinions off of how they were 4 seasons ago. Last time I played El Sacco was season 18, and Ralph Wiggum was season 18, so season 16 actually.
I will say
So I don't know if they've
Ralph
changed.
does have two Mooper balls to his name.
Yeah, but they were also way back, like way back.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't
Like
know.
I think he got his first
I
one.
think it's a pretty solid team that maybe has
I
a
know.
weakness for your team's offense, but
I have him as fringe playoff, just because of the offense. Fringe eighth or ninth because of the offense, in my opinion.
fair enough. So we've got Super Monkey Balls, which I think is one of the eh. It's a Graham team name. Um,
It's a
but
Graham team name. It's a good Graham team name.
you've got Helen Keller and Irony reunited. Probably Helen Keller D Irony O again because that seemed
Yep.
to work well last season. And then you've got Gleg as the D partner and FU as the O partner with potentially Blackberry.
Yeah,
Pers-
I think it's
pers-
probably
I
BlackBerry.
was gonna say personally, I think that BlackBerry is the better option there. Just FU
Yeah,
is really he can get good offensive stats and he can play well, but I think it's better to have him as a carry ball on D and BlackBerry as a smarter support player for the offense.
of course, of course.
I mean I don't know what to make of this team at all. I don't know what to make of a lot of these teams really, but this one just really bamboozles me.
Yeah, so my thing is, I rated Super Monkey Balls 11th in my power rankings, and Graham hasn't let me hear the end of it ever since because he thinks that they're better. I think I also don't know what to make of this team. Graham is telling me that Helen Keller is the best defensive player he's had in a while. I don't know what to think about that. I think Gleg is fine as a support partner. I don't think he's A-team ready. Gleg, Nameless, thinks I suck at making power rankings. Fucking everyone thinks I suck at making power rankings, which is not wrong, but it's fine.
It's not wrong. It's
And
just annoying.
it's just annoying. Every time I come up, it took me 10 hours to write all of that. It took me 10 hours. And I mean write, like literally write.
Yeah.
My hand hurts. My hand hurts
When
so
are you
much.
gonna learn? You just gotta like throw everybody into a random number generator and then justify it afterwards.
This this is the team ranking that will haunt me if I'm wrong. But if I'm right, I'm going to be so petty about it
Yep.
to everyone who hates it.
I mean, look. Here's the thing. I did a random number generator ranking a couple years ago, and I was the
That
only
was better
person.
than
I was
mine.
the only person that put Nip Station number one. So
Yeah, yeah, we get it. Randomized is better.
I just think it's funny. Anyway, but yeah, this
I
team.
don't
I mean,
care.
the thing is, I don't doubt that they can be good, but there's just like Gleg is a newer player who hasn't been on a team yet. Um, I mean, Blackberry played last season, but she was on the Dolphins team that kind of didn't have much of a defense. No offense to you and
Uh,
Jarv there, but like you didn't play well last season. Um,
oh, what gives you that impression? The stats, the
that,
gameplay, my own opinion.
yeah,
I don't
that
think
stuff.
you're right.
Um, and then Helen Keller and Irony played well last season, but they were also with Graham and Zeus, who are two really good players. So it's it's going to be hard to tell exactly what's going to happen here, but I think they'll be around the fringe spots.
All right, see, here's my thing, right? I hate them all. Everyone sucks on that team.
All right.
I want to see how they perform week one, and if they don't sweep, I'm going to spam Graham with everything about how we said his team was good because by we both
Okay,
think the
but
manipulation
who?
station team
Wait,
isn't that great. Graham doesn't think that team is great. If they do, and he's been hyping his team up to me ever since I told him that I put them 11th. I swear to God, Graham, I'm talking to you right now, Graham, because I know you're going to listen to it. You're going to listen to this podcast / Twitch live stream. If your team doesn't sweep, don't talk to me ever again. Don't do it. Don't talk to me for a week because you're so confident. You are so confident.
hey Graham, I think your team is okay. Maybe they'll be
You're
really good.
so
Maybe they
confident,
won't.
Graham.
But
It's a
we'll
power
see how it
ranking.
plays out. I don't. I don't know what to
You
make of your team.
he
Best
called
of
me
luck.
high. He
Anyway,
thought I was high.
so moving on,
No,
we've
no, no,
got
no. Let's continue.
Legends of
No,
the
no, no, no,
Splitting
no, no, no.
Temple, which I think is going to be a pretty good team.
I think they're garbage. Let's
You've
go
got
again.
you've
Let's
got
go again. Let's go.
BBB and Drufa, who I think have were they partners last season too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they were last season's
and
offense.
they were a mid tier offense last season. This season
Yeah,
has weaker offense, therefore they'll be a good offense this season. I don't see what could
yeah.
possibly go wrong with that prediction. Um,
Actually, I do. I do have them pretty high on the offensive rating. I just don't like the defense. I
I
think
do
it's.
like the defense. I mean
I don't. How?
I know. Here's the
I
thing. I think uh, Lamatron is a pretty good defender with some questionable decision making sometime, and I think if Lamatron and Rig are working out well, which I think they have in the past at some point on B team, then this is going to be a really good team. If they don't, I think you send Super Dig up and Lamatron down, and I think they're a really good team because Super Dig is a really good defender. So I think this is going to be a solid team all around. I think they're going to play well, and I think they're going to be one of the top teams.
Here's my take on that. I have them like 11th or 10th. I think I have them 10th or 9th or something. Last season, Anduin got more caps than the offense 3 out of 7 weeks. Do you understand how weird that is for a defender to lead the team in returns as well as caps for 3 weeks out of 7? Who like I feel like they Anduin carried that team to the playoffs. I feel like he carried that team to a 3-1 lead in the equidistant eight. And I think once Anduin couldn't cap anymore, they blew the lead and they screwed it up. So here's my take. Who the hell is the Anduin on this team that is going to produce the same offensive results on defense? I don't think either Rig or Lamatron can do that. I don't think Rig and Lamatron
Okay, but
will
here's
be able to mesh together because let me finish because Rig had Homie, Lamatron had Prism. Lamatron was on B Team D last season, and he played A once with Jarvis and was fine, but he was also playing Jelly Rat on offense that week. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't think it'll be great. I don't think this team will be able to replicate the success it had, and I don't think that the defense will be able to replicate the success last season's defense had.
okay. Here's my
That's
thing. I think. I mean, one. I think this is going to be a good team just off the bat. But two, if it's not working out, I mean, I know Droof has been on a slide on TPM recently. If he's going through a rough patch or whatever, I think either P-Chip or Vic is at this point ready to step up, especially like Vic alongside a like more established, more experienced partner like BBB. I think they would be either of those players would be ready to step up and do well on A. So I have this as one of the top teams. I think that they'll play really well. I think that they'll have a lot of success. We'll see how that pans out, but that's I really think they're going to be fine.
oh God. Here we go. Here we go.
So then we've got the
Let's
handoff
go.
god with Maradona and Ginseng, and then Ed, and I believe they're currently going with J Swan.
I don't
And
know what the lineup is here. I
yeah, I
don't know
don't know
what they're
because the
going
thing
to do.
is, if you've got Maradona and Ginseng playing defense together, that's basically an unstoppable defense. But then your offense is kind of weak, like even for the season. If you've got it as Maradona and Ed with Ginseng and J Swan on O, then I mean that's a okay defense with an okay offense.
You're
Um,
also forgetting I'm a goat. He could
I'm
still
gonna
he
go.
could
I
play A.
think they've got him on B right now, but if he could
Could
definitely
move
also
up.
play A.
Maybe put Ginseng Ed Maradona I'm a goat, or Ginseng J-Swan Maradona goat, or I'm a goat on O because we're all idiots and
You've got a lot
ended up wrong.
of lineup options here. But I
Are
do
any of
think
them good?
the bigger thing is you've got two players who could potentially be washed in Ginseng and Ed. And I think it
Yeah,
comes down to if they are both washed, this team is going to struggle. And if they play uh, in form, then this team is going to be unstoppable.
yeah. I feel like the only player here that I'm confident enough is Maradona, and he's
I
on
mean,
D, so that's a good
the thing
start.
is, I'm very confident that Maradona is going to be really good as a primary defender, and I think that I am very confident that either Imako or J Swan, Imako in either position or J Swan as an offender, will be a solid fourth ball caliber player. But
Yeah, I
like,
definitely think that.
if Ginseng is playing at the top of his game, he's a carry ball as well, and then you've got two carry balls. It's going to be really good. Uh, if Ginseng is playing totally washed, then that's a rough look.
Yeah,
So
there's always like a couple of teams that have to rely on maybe their one player who's returning to do well. I don't know how many times it's worked out.
I mean, I know because I'm pretty sure like season 16 it worked out for a lot of people, and then season 17 there were a couple of people coming back, and so like for example, Cheese Doodle drafted Aaron to be Broscope's partner,
That didn't work
and
out.
then Aaron ended up being like hadn't played the game since the meta around anti-re had changed,
Yeah,
and like they had
like
to
that's
teach him how to
bull.
play anti, and it's like, oh, so that's a bit of a difference. Obviously, neither of these players is like that old, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Very high ceiling, very low floor. I think they're probably gonna end up having some success and end up middle of the pack, but really hard to tell.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so then we've got the question marks, the arrow team, whatever you want to call them. Um,
I just call
Broscope,
them double questions.
Broscope, and Nipplepotamus D with Bold Roller and Laser Pig on O, and Circly there as the fifth ball. I think it's a pretty
Um,
good team. I think Broscope is a
yeah,
solid lead defender. Nipplepotamus is ready to make the jump and be a support defender there. I think Bold is a really good, strong grabby boy, and Laser is a good, experienced support player. And I think also Circly can fill in that role as a support player too when he's needed to. So I think this is a pretty
yeah.
solid team that does
I've
well, but isn't too flashy.
I've come around. I rated them six in my thing, but yeah, I rated them six in my power rankings. But I think I can come around to give them a higher ranking.
Yeah, I think this team is going to be good, and I think whether they're in the top tier or the mid tier is going to depend on whether a couple of those other teams that we've talked about, like if Get Right is washed, if Carl with a K doesn't play well, then they move up. If those teams are firing on all cylinders, then they're more mid tier. But they're a solid team that I think doesn't have a they don't have question marks on their team, despite the fact that they
Yeah,
are the question marks team.
funny.
They you know exactly what you're getting, and you know it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I think I can see them top five, top four. Their defense is strong. Their offense with bold should be really good, and there aren't a lot of question marks, like you said. The question mark team, no question marks, seems pretty cool.
Yeah. Then we've got our last A team, at long last, the Weed the People team with
Oh,
Herb, Drift, Jerry, and then Randy or Clue. I mean,
gotta be Randy
basically,
on Jerry, right?
I think Herb is a little washed. I feel really bad for Jerry because I think he's going to be struggling as the expected top ball on another team. Maybe Herb is going to play well, but I this is my team that I'm the least high on right now. I think they're going to struggle a lot. I think Jerry's going to be expected to carry again. And I think it's going to be another rough season for him.
Did you see what Ghost is saying? Fucking unexpected again. I've called it again. Ugh. Well, I don't know. I Jerry last season did not have a good base to stand off of. This season, is that base stronger?
Not
I
really.
can't tell. I do think that his O partner is way better, in my opinion.
With
I do think,
Randy instead
I,
of Blackberry.
yeah, I do think
I think their
Randy,
play styles work better together.
yeah, I do think so as well. But like, I don't think these guys have even like scrimmed in a while. I'm not seeing anything on attack for analytics. Let me see
Yeah,
if
well, I mean, I
Drift.
know Jerry's not going to be able to scrim much.
Yeah,
Herb hasn't
has
played in
Drift.
forever. Drift also hasn't played much recently. In general,
Not Drift. Yeah,
I mean,
they
Randy.
haven't scrimmed
I think
since
Randy and
19.
Clue are probably both going to scrim with their B team if they're scrimming because the top three players aren't scrimming, so they'll at least be active. But yeah, I don't think that's a. I don't see this team being successful.
I don't know. I mean, my team last season, you wouldn't have expected us to be successful, but we
You
ended up
managed to luck
fucking
yourself
making
into
it big,
playoffs.
dude. Yeah,
Anyway, I
yeah.
think this team is going to be a solid out of the playoffs team. I don't see
Ah,
it. Maybe they'll
the thing is,
surprise me.
right?
I would love to be surprised, but I don't see it.
The thing is, I feel like the community has them ranked at number two, right behind Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, well,
It's
there are a
because
lot of people
probably,
who are believers in Herb, and obviously Jerry's amazing. Drift has had some success, and Randy just came off a really strong season, so I see the argument. I just don't think it's going to pan out at all. I think Herb is going to
yeah,
be
I
washed.
guess
I
we'll
think
see.
Drift is going to struggle. I think Jerry's going to be expected to carry, and I think the defense is going to be letting offenses out all season.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens tonight.
I mean,
If we do
that's
well
a
against them,
Jerry.
maybe.
Jerry is really good, so there is a
Yeah,
chance that even if the defense is just that they'll still find some success. I just don't believe it. I don't believe right now.
maybe. Yeah.
So then for B teams, we'll start with that same team. You've got Clue, Timmy, Arrow, Iceplat, not trying. I don't remember if that's a rookie or whoever. Scribbles and Choco. It's
Uh,
it's an okay-ish top four, and then some
okay,
rookies
shot for
and then some rookies and
meh.
Choco. I think
Yeah.
they'll be okay. They'll have some success, but they'll be somewhere in the middle. I think
I don't know.
probably
I'm
lower
kind of
middle.
liking it. I'm kind of
I'm
liking
thinking
it.
lower middle personally, but if you like it, then
I just like it because the defense is like one of the better ones on B team. I mean, Clue just won a booper. Wheel and Timmy is still decent. Um, Arrow, solid offender. I'd be excited to see how we can play without Randy.
I mean I think it's one
Ice
of those
Flat,
things. There are a lot of teams this season where I think if not trying and scribbles either pan out or don't show up, and then Choco is is not playing as much or improves or whatever. I mean, he definitely he's better than where he was last season at this point, but the rotation on B team I think is something that does need to be factored in, and I don't think that this team rotates well.
looking at all of these teams, it always seems to be an issue of top three being pretty good,
Yeah,
and then the fourth
that's
ball,
how B team happens. You've got almost
not
every
really.
single team is
I
going to
feel
have a
like
good top
nah,
three, and then the fourth ball
yeah,
is going to be okay, and then you're going to have a couple players where you're like, I don't know. But yeah, no, I think this team is they're okay, but lower side of the middle of the pack is where I've got them.
I'll put them top 5, in my opinion.
All right.
I don't know where in the top 5, but top 5.
So
That defense, good.
question marks. You've got Circly, J24, Milner, Prow, Snacks Phone, and Stink. I think this team is a top half team just because I don't see a weak link on their B team. Like, I mean, I guess Stink is the weak link being a Euro on 100 plus ping, but he's played okay when he's been around. So I think this is a solid team. I think they've got a really strong uh, top couple players there, and I think they'll play pretty well. I know Mueller might go O, but I think that if he's with Circly there, that'll be fine. And I know Josh, our good buddy Josh, can play some solid D when he needs to. So I I really like this team. I think they're gonna do really well. Top tier B team.
Same, I guess. Mueller did well. Mueller did well with Lamachan last season. Prow did well with Nippopotamus last season. Circle and J24 would be a good offense. J24 can be defense. There's some flexibility to be had there, and the fact that all like the top 4 are all recognizable players, I just feel like that also puts them pretty highly rated. But yeah, I think they'll also be top 5.
Yep. All right. So then you've got the handoff god. They've got Funky Spud, so they're gonna win a booper, and that's all that needs to be said. I think.
But Funky Spud didn't win the Booper last time.
Yeah, but he's back.
But he didn't win the Booper
Yeah.
last time.
All kidding aside, I do think this is a good team. Either I'm a goat or J Swan
Like,
will be a really solid top ball. Rena is a really good defender. I think the Indian is a solid pickup if he can shake any rust off at all. He'll be able to fill the gap, especially there. Thanos Ball has really good max high potential. Pass the flag is a solid experienced player. Nas has been playing pretty well recently, hitting the
yeah,
TBM
this
grind,
team's
and then
like pretty deep.
yeah, it's a really deep team. I think this team is also a
Top
top team
5.
this season.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I've said 3 teams
I mean,
in
I
top
probably
5. Can't wait to justify this.
yeah. I mean, I think for me, the question marks team is like maybe top 5, but like top half. I'm not sure about top 4 or not. The handoff god, I've got them as a top 4 team.
Yeah,
Um,
all deep, pretty deep, recognizable players, good depth.
all
Should
right.
be fine.
So we're gonna keep going. Eventually, Active is gonna have 11 top 5 teams.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
next up, we've
12
got
teams.
Legends of the Splitting Temple.
Top
Sadness
5.
with some sadness with some success last season, um, coaching up his B teamers. But you've got Super Diglett, Vic
Oh
Messi,
wait, that actually is top 5.
Potato Chip,
Oh wait,
Scrapper Bow. If Scrapper Bow is not
Scrapper
washed,
Ado.
Wall
Not
Squirrel.
Scrapper. What?
It's I know it's Scrapper Ado, but Scrapper Bow for sure. Wall Squirrel, and then you've got Fansman and Wokalax 19, who
Woke up.
that's the question mark there. I mean, I think this is a really solid team. Uh, like the last 2 picks being the question marks, but I think that the rest of the teams, like the rest of the team, is strong enough to support them in the rotation and help them improve.
Yeah. Mm, while We the People had a iffy fourth ball for offense, I think defense-wise this team struggles, especially with that second partner for Super Dig. I'm assuming they put Super Dig on defense
Yeah, Super
just
Dig.
because
I
there's
mean,
no
Super Dig might
Western
want to
players
play
on
O,
this team.
but if Super Dig goes O, you definitely need P Chip on D.
Yeah, no. I think
And I think Wall
Peach
Squirrel's a
Victor
solid
Messi.
D. I don't remember what Scrapper
I,
plays.
I think he's D.
Okay, I think that can be a solid team, either way. If you got Super Dig on D, this is a definite top 4 team for
Yeah,
me. If
top
you've
top
got him on
5,
O,
top
I
5.
think they still could be, but it's going to require a lot more work. to get there, but I
Here's my
think they're
yeah.
still a good team. I think Vic has
Yeah,
been
that's top.
ready to lead a B team offense for a while now, and if he's got P Chip in the lead role there, that's going to be a really solid team.
Can you lead an offense if you're not a lead offender?
Well, the thing is, he plays usually in the more aggressive role, but
Really?
that's from what I've seen. Maybe he does play more support. Maybe he's just aggressive
I
when
don't
he's playing
know.
with me because I am very much not the aggressive offender.
Yeah, I mean, Potato Chip and Victor have played together on offense. He's
Yeah,
an 18
they've
manipulation
got some
station
chemistry. They'll be
along with
good.
Steve Potato. Yeah, I mean, it should be. That's that first three players very solid. They should be enough to carry over the edge.
Yeah, I mean, I do think if
Uh,
because I also think Wall Scroll's pretty good, and I think if Scrapper is not washed, that's a really good pickup too.
at top five, top five. I got four top five teams already,
All
and we have
right.
eight more to go.
So then,
So
Super Monkey Balls, who you like to hate on. So
top five, top five, top five. Here we go. I've cleaned
you
it
say
up.
top
That's
five
actually
now,
it's
but
actually
Graham
a
is
decent team.
mad at you. So surely you put them
He's
lower.
mad at me because I called it A team garbage.
Oh, so you're
I
trying to
call his
make
B
up
team
for it.
garbage. No, no, no. His B team's garbage.
Okay, you do have.
So
I think your top offender here in probably FU is really good. Gospel of Juke played really well last season. I don't know much
I
about
love
Inspire.
I love the
I'm a big believer in Atomic Storm. So yeah,
I me too.
I think Atomic Storm and FU are gonna like put up insane stats on offense on B team this season.
Like, how are you gonna diss the offensive ball of the season?
But then you've got, and I mean,
Atomic.
Spheroid also as a pickup that late in the draft is a really
Yeah,
solid like third ball for offense. But
that offensive trio is strong.
the defense is just really questionable.
Nah,
Gospel Juke is
it's
pretty
all up to
good.
Inspire. It's
Inspire,
Inspire.
I don't know anything about.
I know him a bit. He had
He
one season of defense and he killed it that season.
yeah. So
But
that's
then
the
now
thing
the
is,
issue is that was back in season 7.
yeah, it's
So
one of those things where like
what the
if
hell
he
are you
comes
gonna do?
back and he kills it again, then yeah, this team's gonna pop off. But if he comes back and struggles, then I mean, Jed Bartlett's fine, pretty good, but not.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I'm a believer in Jed Bartlett and Gospel of Juke being the
uh,
starting B team
it'll yeah,
defense.
it'll be interesting to see if Gospel of Juke can lead in defense because this is his first time leading a B team defense. This is only his second season, so it'll
Yeah,
be a big task. I mean, Unit did the exact same thing for Bust Up, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
yeah. But then
So if he can replicate Unit's success, should be fine.
yeah, then you've got DYD and Robiny at the bottom of the roster. They're they're okay. I don't think they'll throw, but it's
That's the line.
it'll
That's
be
the
interesting.
requirement. If you're a late round pick, just don't throw. That's all we need.
But
That's
anyway,
all people want from a late
I
round
think
pick.
this team is going to have a really strong offense, and it's going to come down to if the defense can hold it together, then they'll have some success. But if they don't, then it's going to be a struggle.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a bold prediction. They're not in my top 5.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is pretty
unfortunate.
bold. That means
That's
you
pretty
still have
bold.
one spot open in your top five.
Who the hell am I gonna pick, dude?
All right, so Ping Field, you've got JH13 and Porps leading the D. I think that's a pretty solid D. And then I think Ferret also D?
No, you know.
He's O. Okay, then I think if Ferret pans
I
out, if
hope he's
Ferret
up.
comes back strong, then and as an O, then that's good. If not, then I don't know. But it's a good strong D. The O I think will be okay. Homer J,
I
Oink,
think
maybe
the
Ferret. I think
I
Sarai
think the
Suck
offense
actually has
will.
a lot of potential, especially for somebody that late. He hasn't like put up good stats at all, but he had really good mechs when he was on my neutral flag team. So I don't know. I think they'll be fine. I think middle of the pack though.
I think the offense fails them. I think they won't get out as much, and the defense will have to put like carry a lot, and then they'll feel like they're doing too much, and they'll let the flag out, and it'll be an easy cap. Yesterday, my B team scrimmed their B team, and we won like a lot, like a couple. We won like more than the other team, pretty comfortably too. I think the offense is going to be what undoes them. Homer J and Parrott, neither of them are what I say cat like leading offenders, and I don't think they'll work well together at all.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see, but yeah, I think they're a middle of the pack team. I I don't know how well they'll do though. It's gonna be interesting to see how the offense does. Uh, moving on to LBT, this is a strong team. My team scrimmed them last night. I don't know anything about Crouton.net, Mr. Nice Guy, or if Rain is gonna show up, but uh, Steez is really good. Conman really good. Omnivore really good. Trapson is a really good pickup for that late in the draft. And then Perpetualist was also playing really well. And I kind of get the BCC vibes from last season with the Conman Omnivore combo there. I think this is going to be a really good team. Top five.
Should be. I hope they are. I hope they're good. I mean, that's another good LBTB team. Conman and who's on defense with them again?
It's going to be Conman and Trapson with Perpetualist in there as well. And Perpetualist was playing pretty well in scrims last night.
Yeah, should be fun. Should be easy. Top five, top five.
For sure. So then we've got
I've got five
BCC.
top five teams.
BCC
Might be
of noted B team success.
top six.
Has
top
Ghost and Burtonbort on defense. They've been having some nice
Top
fun
six.
feuds in the Discord. And then Gilly Ball was a really good pickup. I think will do well. Then you've got Ducky, who I believe is also usually a defender. Jer32, who I think is also stronger at D. And then feels like in cap. So I think this team is going to depend on if whoever is playing with Gilly can find success or no, then they will be good. And
All right.
and if not, then no.
All right. Bold claim. Another bold claim. Top five.
Hmm.
But top five, like I'm gonna remove another team from my top five, and that team is the question marks. They will be now top six, and BCC will be top five. Just
Interesting.
they're good. Like that offense that you have feels like in Jerd 32. In scrims they've been really good. Like I played what feels like in a Masters tournament, and we made it to the semifinals. Like it was good, and I think that offense is settled. The defense should be settled. All good D. Easy peasy. I think they're easily top five.
Yeah, I mean, Jer32 has seemed decent in my TPM games with him. Mind you, I'm not in the high little queues, so it's hard to tell sometimes. But
Yeah.
but I'm thinking that they will be pretty good. I don't know for sure. We've got Manipulation Station then. A-Dog, Logi, Dingbat, Hambino, Zumi, 2D20, and Ecris. I mean, again, I think they've got some good players, but I don't see them as like a very top team. That said, Dusk has a lot of success in coaching his teams up, so maybe he does that again. But I see this as a lower middle team. Just they don't have an X factor to really push them to compete with top teams.
Okay. Wait. Hold up. I'm doing something. Give me a second.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Plug it in. And
And
voila. Did it work? Oh god, that fucking worked. Oh no. Oh god,
What worked?
hold the phone. Oh no. Oh god. You're
What?
so loud. Keep talking.
Okay.
Keep talking.
Oh yeah, that is loud. I can hear myself. Did you just get to your computer?
I got to my car.
Oh, your car. Well, at least we won't have the background noise
I-
anymore. I do apologize for people if you can hear
Slowly
the dog
dying of
barking
heat.
next door. We've got some thin walls here sometimes.
Oh God, this is so much easier for me to talk about. Oh God, it's so warm. Oh, it's so
Yeah.
warm.
Anyway,
Oh. So what were we talking about? Manipulation station
yeah,
B team?
yeah.
Yeah, the top five, whatever. So how
Is
many teams do we have in the top five? Seven?
7. And then we'll go to
Yeah,
Bank of
alright, whatever.
Americaps, which is the team that I'm on. You've got Slob, Cooler, Jelly, Hell Yeah, Pen 15, me, and 18. I think I was a solid pickup in the 10th round. Uh,
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a bottom five. Bottom five for me.
oh, of course, but that's just because you're bad at power rankings. You're probably high right now, you know.
No, no, no,
I mean, how could
no,
you
no, no,
possibly
no,
make
no,
such
no,
a
no,
terrible
no. I
decision?
don't care. I
Um,
don't care. I don't
no,
care
I
if I
think
came dead last in B team power rankings. I got one team right,
I
and that was your team.
I think
So that's what
well,
matters.
who didn't get my team right last season? The answer is some people who somehow thought that
Surprisingly,
another team would be worse
some
than us,
people.
but nobody put us nobody put us better than
Yeah.
like 10th. Somebody's here.
Who the hell's this? What? Oh no. Oh,
Oh,
whatever.
Vic is
Yeah, I don't.
Vic is listening.
I'm very
That's
good
fine.
at predicting teams that you're on.
You did it
I'm
once.
very good at predicting teams that you're on,
You've literally done it once, and it was the most obvious
and
last
your
place
team
team that's
sucks.
happened in
Nah,
Tag
yeah,
Pro.
yeah, but like you could not, you. I want to bet, and I got pretzels, so
You
I
did
think
get
I'm a
pretzels.
genius when it comes to ranking teams
Anyway,
with you.
I think that we're gonna be pretty good. I think we'll be a middle seed in the playoffs, and maybe we'll have success, and maybe we won't. But I think we're gonna have a reasonably successful and fun season. I am very confident that
I
we will
think your
get at
friend.
least 2 wins on the season. So that'll be good improvement for Jelly and
My
I.
no 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 no. See, the thing is, right? This is basically the Green Eggs and Spam B team last season, but without Wheel and Timmy or Young Breezy.
Yeah,
So
but the
like
entirety of B team
they
is weaker
came,
this season.
yeah, but they were a 7 seed with those two. You take them away, what are you now? Not a 7
Um,
seed.
I'm
Probably
gonna go
worse.
out on a limb and say a 5 seed, but maybe a 4 seed.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, a pretty well protected, like a pretty well supported limb. Like think of it like I'm gonna go out on a route here and say 10th or ninth. Yeah, 10th and ninth. That
Are
works.
we gonna have to make a bet on whether or not my team makes playoffs this season?
You know, I do need more pretzels.
I'll throw another pack of
Yeah,
pretzels in.
no.
If
Yeah, no,
no,
no. I think I've pushed my luck way too much with that previous bet. Because even then, you were only one win away from winning it.
how
Because
scared
freaking
were you when we
LBT
won our
decided to
first
keep.
game against LDT?
Kind of worried, not gonna lie. Especially if Magic. I don't know why. Because also LBT was eliminated from the playoffs when they started playing you.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no way they were gonna make it anyway.
Yeah.
So I worried that they would throw.
But anyway, yeah,
Thank God they
I think
didn't.
it's a solid team. Hell yeah and Cooler are good. Jelly Rat and Slav are good. Pen
I
15
don't
and
like it.
18 and I are not bad. So I think it's decent.
Debatable.
Um, then you've got the Krusty Grabs with Borges, Naga, Frodobalans, XYZs, Hibana, Corinth, and Patriot Man. I don't know if Patriot Man, the big board legend, has actually shown up or anything yet. Um, I do think this is a team that
I think
like
he has.
grows throughout the season a little bit. I think that their top 3 or 4 is a solid team right now, and I think they'll continue to get better. I think that Hibana and Corinth both have a lot of potential to get better. Hibana's already gotten a lot better on TPM. Corinth got better last season, has really good mechs. Um, I think it'll be a solid team, but I don't know.
Uh, I don't like this team either. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. Borges is expected to lead the offense here, but at the same time, XYZ, what is it? XYZES, he's not bad. His other name is Cora, and I think Cora has played a lot. I think he has like a couple of weekly flares as well. A Borges Cora offense isn't the worst one I've seen, but it's definitely not the best. And then the defense
I
is
do
not
think
a
it
great
depends a
either.
lot on how much. If Habana and Corinth can get up to speed and they can start playing well, then I think with the rotation in, this team is going to be fine. But if they
No,
play the way that if Habana plays like not well, and if Corinth doesn't play like he's improved, this team struggles a lot. Um,
I'm
I think they'll be
gonna
okay,
take
but
the
it's gonna
latter.
be interesting.
I'm gonna take struggling a lot. Yeah, they're gonna struggle. I think
Um,
they'll struggle. I think this is missing the playoffs.
so then we are finally finishing up. We've got the
Ugh,
the Dolphins.
so much more to.
You've got Catalyst. You've got Fat
We
Booty
have to
Dion.
do
I don't
preview
remember who that is. You've got
too.
Aster, Second Skin, Logicus, Bomb Squad, and iTac Pro. I think this is a pretty solid team. Um, I don't see any weak links. I think Bomb
Yeah,
Squad and Logicus at towards the bottom of the roster is a really good look. Aster's been playing really well. Catalyst is a great lead. Oh, Second Skin and Bomb Squad both can play support D. This is a pretty good team. Top five.
top five too. There you go. 8 teams in the top five for me.
I
I'm
think I
good
had
at
about
math.
five, but I'm not sure. I definitely felt like I had more positive reactions than negative
I don't
reactions, so
care.
I don't know. I do need to really quickly try to remember who Fat Booty Dion is. Pretty
Uh,
solid name.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds? Yeah, okay, yeah, no, that's a good team.
Yeah, Bird Reynolds. Yeah, it's a solid team.
All right, so
Should be
then,
fine. I think Catalyst is playing. Oh,
I don't know. Maybe. Regardless, I think this team has the
Catalyst. Oh,
depth.
Second Skin.
This team
Second
has the
Skin.
depth. I
Something
think they'll be
D.
fine.
Whatever. They're good.
Okay, so
I
now
just like Aster. He's really good.
Now it's time for some previews. First up, we've got Lane Before Timers is taking on the Miami Dolphins. It should be a good matchup. On
It's a
A
good
team,
matchup.
so we'll start with the B team matchups this week. We're gonna switch it up. Um, and on B team, I'm gonna say LBT takes 2 out of 3. I think they're both good teams. I think whichever team loses is gonna recover just fine after this, but I think LBT takes 2 out of 3.
Hey, remember when I had a coin and
I I do remember
I
that.
would flip it?
Yeah.
I, I have a quarter in my car, so we're gonna fucking flip it. And heads, LBT. Tails, Miami Dolphins. We'll do it 3 times. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna say whoever wins gets 2 out of 3, and heads. LBT 2 out of 3. Next.
So then Pingfield versus LST. Um, you know, I'm not 100% sure. I think they both we came to the conclusion that they both had decent teams, but I think we were a little bit higher on LST, and I'm gonna stick with that and say LST sweeps.
Again. Oh fuck. Tails. LST sweep. Probably should have said who was heads and who was tails
Probably.
before that. But
I don't know.
whatever.
We believe you. Manipulation
LST
Station
sweep.
versus Super Monkey Balls. This is an interesting matchup for me. I think I'm
Two
gonna
teams with
say
amazing offenses and maybe decent defenses.
I think I'm gonna say that Super Monkey
Maybe
Balls
not.
is has the a stronger offense and a little bit more solid there on D. So I think I'm gonna say Super Monkey Balls 2 out of 3. Dust can come yell at me after they win later,
Dude,
but Graham
I
can,
found
but Graham won't be yelling at me, so that's fine. Um,
I found Ritz crackers in my car.
so what does that mean for
Oh
your
my
pick?
god. Um, I don't know, but these are still good. They've been here for like a month. Holy crap. Oh. Um, I'm gonna go with Super Monkey Balls 2 out of 3.
Yeah, active over here. Like, oh man, this is taking forever. Oh, by the way, I found some Ritz crackers. We're gonna talk about that for a minute now. Uh, all
I'm
right.
hungry.
Americaps
It's not
versus
gonna fall.
we've got Bank of Americaps versus the question marks. Um, I like my team, so I'm gonna pick us, but this is gonna be a tough matchup for us. And the question marks are pretty good. I'm gonna say us 2 out of 3, but should be a good matchup, and the question marks are good.
I'm gonna go with whatever the opposite you just said.
Fair enough.
So, question marks 2 out of 3.
Yeah. Then we've got We the
Okay.
People versus Bohemian
Oh
Capsity.
no.
Um, hmm.
BCC
I
sweep.
think it's a pretty even matchup, but I'm gonna give the slight edge to BCC. So I'm gonna say 2 out of 3 BCC, but I think it's a good matchup. Um, then we've got the final B team matchup of the week: Handoff God versus Krusty Grabs. I mean, I think Krusty Grabs has the potential to be a good
Hand
team,
up.
but I think Handoff God is a good team
Sweep.
right now. So I
Hand
I
up.
think Handoff
Tongue.
I think Handoff sweep. Yeah.
Thumb up. Hand up.
All right. So now in reverse order for A team, you've got
Need some
Handoff
hummus.
God
Do I have hummus
versus
in my car?
Krusty Grabs for A team. Um.
Yo, dude. The fuck
Oh boy.
ketchup. Why is there ketchup in my car? Oh my god. I need to clean this shit.
So
Oh, are you saying something?
yeah. Maybe I should just mute you and just finish up on my own. I do that sometimes.
No. I'm here. I'm here. What was it? Handoff God versus.
Krusty Grabs A
I was
team
just really surprised I found ketchup. Uh, wait, Handoff God versus who again?
versus
Bank of
Krusty
America.
Grabs.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I know. Handoff God is my
I'm
toughest
gonna
team
go
to
Krusty
predict this
Grab
week.
sweep.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a
Krusty
split.
Grab sweep.
I think it's gonna be a split because I don't know what to make of Handoff God, and I think that it's gonna be a good close matchup as both teams find their identity, and then next week we'll have more solid predictions for the Handoff God game. Um, so then we've got Bohemian Capacity versus We the People on A. I'm gonna say Bohemian Capacity sweep because I don't trust in We the
Really?
People, and I definitely don't trust in them this early in the season. So yeah. I'm saying
I'm not
BCC
gonna
sweep.
be cocky.
Active bad, but I just the We the People was the one team that I didn't like after the draft. So yeah, BCC sweep. Either active. All right. Well, I will just keep going on my own while we wait for active to come back. Um, we've got the question marks versus Bank of America apps. Um, think it's going to be close. I think that the edge at the moment goes to the question marks, but I think it's going to be a solid game, and I think it's going to end up being a split. But I think the captive goes to question marks. Then we've got Super Monkey Balls versus Manipulation Station. Another interesting matchup where I don't exactly know how the one team's going to do, but I think that I think this is another split. I think if Super Monkey Balls do pop off and Graham's assessment is accurate and not just captain bias, then uh, they have the potential to do really well. But also Dusk's had a lot of success captaining too, so I think it's going to end up being a split between two teams with a lot of potential and a lot to prove. Then we've got Legends of the Splitting Temple versus the Pingfield Isotopes. And yeah, I like both of these teams. I think Legends of the Splitting Temple is a little bit stronger out of the gate, but also I think they've got. I mean, Drufa and Lamatron will be fine on Sphere, but I think with Rig on Sphere and I don't know what BBB's Sphere Ping looks like. I think maybe Pingfield is able to sneak one out early, and we'll call that one a split too. Then we've got the Miami Dolphins versus the Land Before Timers, and I think Dolphins sweep on the just pure raw skill and mechs. I think LBT will strengthen as the season goes on. I think they're pretty decent. They keep it interesting, but I think that the Dolphins will come out swinging and take the sweep in week 1. And since I don't have an active able to respond to anything right now, that's going to be it for the week. Thanks for watching, the two people who are watching the stream right now, and this will be up on the
Yeah, finish without me.
Yep.
I think, did you finish already?
Yep.
Yeah, my phone overheated.
Oof. That's rough.
Too hot in my car. What can you do?
Nice.
Probably stay inside from now on.
Probably.
But yeah, have fun.
Yeah,
See you later.
Thanks for listening. This will be up on the podcasting sites in a bit, and we'll see you next week when you can tell us exactly how wrong we were about everything.